to go? Super. Now people feel we just woke up today in the morning and then all these facilities, all these stores just came out of the blue. Churrolto is now 7 years old from when we started. And let me show you how we started. We started by selling on the streets. Some cringy photos. We started by selling on the streets. And we didn't take much time. We quickly gained our courage to start a small shop in Madhapur, in the streets of Madhapur. Extremely small shop. I wanted to show you this photo because I wanted to see a perspective of that person and the size of the store. It was very small. We just used to have 4 to 5 tables and it quickly gained traction. We started breaking records every single week and people were waiting in lines all the time, sometimes even in the rain. And we quickly had to take a bigger shop from this to this. And now, these stores have not only been just a cafe or something, they have become a part of the community. They have become mini landmarks in themselves. And this was our first kitchen. If 4 people gathered in that kitchen, it would have been crowded. And I would like to show you our facility, what we have right now. You guys ready? One of the biggest facilities in the city. 100 people work in this facility every single day. And it's just state of the art. It's absolutely clean, spick and span all the time. And we couldn't be happier. And also, we have something new at the storefront as well. This is our youngest store. We call it Churrolto Banjara. This is the first store that we prepared ourselves. We designed and detailed ourselves. Like example, Churrolto, the logic says, the handle should always be branded because that's the first touch between the client and the brand. It should be a good handshake because that's the first touch. And then our retail sign says the first 20% of the restaurant should have 80% of the products because when you step inside the store, we should close the deal with you. You're not allowed to go outside. Rather than me telling you more about Churrolto Banjara, I would like to show you a very small video. From here to here, it has been an extremely great journey. And this is a surprise. Oh, by the way, it's just right down the corner and a whole team of staff is waiting for you guys to have a hands-on type of a lab for the new products, what we introduced right now. And before we do before we go over there, me and Chef Amay are open to some Q&As.
I have a question for the chef.
Okay. As in, obviously there are something which has already been there, like a pav, it's been there in market for ages, but we reinvented it for Churrolto.
Do you plan to take this forward elsewhere as well?
So the brand's vision, I will speak
across
on
India?
behalf of Nihar. The vision for the Churrolto brand is to serve 1 billion every quarter and to have 35,000 stores across the world.
Sorry, just come again.
35,000 stores across the world and feed 1 billion every quarter.
So I'll just add up on that. The culture we created at Churrolto is customer-centric and employee-centric. And whatever we build, it's a crime not to expand all over the world, such a culture. Yeah. So, adding to that.
Expansion means also India.
Yeah,
Are there any proposals for that?
absolutely.
I think
Is
if
there a target
everything
set
goes
for-
as per plan, by November we should be hitting a new city, though I would not disclose the name right now, let it be surprise, but somewhere in the South India by November.
That will be the first expansion outside.
Indeed.
So, just because it's also about your plans, could you also elaborate a little more on the plans that you have for your expansion? Because I think that's again, if whatever you could share right now.
Okay, I'll start and then you can continue. So the Churrolto Central, what I just revealed, whatever we earned in the last 6 years, we put off in Churrolto Central because it was a visionary decision and it can supply to stores up to 30 to 40 outlets. So that is step number 1. Step number 2 about the food chef.
With the food, if you remember when I showed the 10 commandments and we spoke about need for speed, and that is where the central kitchen comes into the picture. So most of the stuff is made in the central kitchen under high level of scrutiny and standardization, and that is why when you come to Churrolto, your food is extremely fast, and 99% of times it will also taste the same, and that helps in expansion because we reduce dependability on people and we have a great balance between man and machine.
So when you start the South India Center, here again, here.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you start the South India Center, would it be again centrally, the center would be based at Hyderabad? Or would you be setting up another center there in wherever you plan to
So
start?
wherever we move to the next city, every city will have a small satellite central kitchen, and the big mommy from here will serve the satellite kitchens.
And the 35,000
Expanding and you're making it better.
So this is where when Chef Amay said high on value, if something costs you 500 rupees, it should be at least valuable a few times more. Yeah.
So when we visited the Madhapur outlet
Yes.
7 years back, so it was churros, which was the USP of Churrolto's.
Yes.
So what is it now?
It will always be churros.
So the hero, so in simple words again, I like to keep things simple. Hero is churros, heroine is patisserie, and the rest of the movie, the item song, the villain, the comedian, all are the bistro.
So,
It's a whole movie.
so bread as a product.
Churros, nothing else. Churrolto means churros. Paradise biryani, Apple iPhone, Churrolto churros.
So bread as a product has a maybe like 10,000 years old history for this.
15,000.
15,000 to be
Yeah.
very precise. And I see in Indian market, the Indian palate is not so seasoned because we are so well
Rice.
versed with rotis, buckets, rice, etc. And the new menu is really nice, and I can see that as an artisanal breads that are being included and very well paid with all the food. So, but how are we putting that into the market where everybody wants a roti with a curry, and how can we shift it them from a roti to a bread? Because
think-
and again I'll be very, as you said, I'll keep it very simple. Bread mostly in households, common households will be looked at as a meal during your fever. I mean, when you're ill, you eat bread. Is a consumption. Even my mother says.
Or a
Whenever
I think this came out after the pandemic.
yeah, because whenever there's an example where again when I took my mother and I said, can you try this with this focaccia bread or sourdough bread? No, I'm not. I'm fine. Why do you want me to have bread? Get some roti. So this is a perception where that's the main market basis, because artisanal also has to meet the financial needs, And that's the-
Especially when we are having Indian dishes. So,
So I'll answer that question for you. First is definitely whatever we had to do in the boundaries of what Churrolto means. So we definitely could not go out and get a chapati or a roti or a tandoori roti or a paratha in. And then to the answer next question of how it will go or how people will accept, I think you will know for yourself once you taste.
okay.
No.
Because that is where we are heading right now.
But you are confident that this is
Yeah,
going to be
100%.
That's more
So,
important.
just to give you a little story, this specifically to talk about the bread bowls. It is inspired by 3 products. When I look at it from a chef's perspective, it is inspired by focaccia, it is inspired by kulcha, and it is inspired by our Hyderabad's charponi naan.
Oh.
And the way you enjoy the bread bowl is you just take a little bite of the feather bread, dip it in the bread bowl, so it soaks up all the curry, and then you eat. So that is how it will go. And I think it is going to be a brilliant experience.
And Chef, one more thing.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking time out from your busy schedule and coming here. I am Sneh Podar, co-founder of Churrolto. My partner Nihar, head chef Amay. Thank you for coming.
Let's head over to Banjarahills. Yeah. Hey Dinesh, can you help me with the Churrolto background logo?